welcome to Beer Mail episode number 13 of
Brutal Battle. So it's a Beer Mail episode. It's kind of crazy to think that it's our 13th Beer Mail.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Especially considering that probably, 11 of those are Kyle Norman.
And today's is also Kyle Norman.
Yeah. So, more Kyle Norman. We should just be saying now at this point, Beer Mail episode brought to you by Kyle Norman.
Yeah. Kyle Norman's Beer Mail episode.
Oh, and so we make sure that we get this done because this reminds me, it's been a while. Shout out to Olivia Norman.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while since we've done a shout out to Olivia. So, Olivia, it's been a while since we've seen you. Can't wait to see you the next time we do. We'll party. Anyway, he sent us some beers. We have enough we're going to be able to do 2 beer mails. And then he also sent us beers for a brewery showcase. And it's a new brewery. So look for that one. That's going to be exciting. It's especially going to be exciting because of where the brewers who started that brewery came from.
Yes.
Because it's a very highly lauded brewery that they came from to start this new brewery. So just saying. Okay, but for now, we're going to focus on these beers in front of us. 3 of these are 16-ounce cans. 1 of these is a 12-ounce can, and we're starting with the 12-ounce can. Now, this is a brewery we've talked about before on the podcast. We've had some beer from them. Maybe just 1. I can't remember how many beers. Actually, I think we had them on 2 separate episodes.
Well, what's the brewery?
Yeah, sorry.
Come on.
It's Triple Crossing.
There we go.
Brewing out of Richmond, Virginia. And why I was saying I think we've had them on 2 episodes prior is because we had 2 episodes about going to Richmond.
Okay.
When we just went on vacation, and then when we went with Kelly and Kyle Norman on vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we did Triple Crossing both times. So when we were there at Triple Crossing, at least the last time we went, we had Falcon, their IPA, or I think it's Falcon Smash. Either Falcon or Falcon Smash is one of their IPAs. Now this is a version of the Falcon, and it is their Baby Falcon.
Baby Falcon.
It's a session IPA, which makes sense, and it's 4.5% alcohol, and tell me what's on the label.
A baby falcon.
Isn't it ugly?
I think it's cute.
No. I think baby falcons they're ugly, dude. Baby birds, when they're like really, really young, I think are super ugly. Especially like between the stages of having no feathers and then like just when the feathers are starting to come in. Until they get like a nice kind of like downy covering, I think they're pretty ugly.
But then they're so cute.
Yeah. Well, and also like this baby falcon on the label, a lot of the times they just look like they're frowning.
Yeah. He looks kind of pissed off.
Like they hate life. So, but I'm excited for the session IPA. We just got done having a nice 2-mile walk. So this should be kind of refreshing, I hope. I don't remember what the Falcon was tasting like that we had at Triple Crossing because it's been, 2 years now since we were there? Something like that. Okay, not going to pour too much. Okay.
It has decent haze to it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of hazy. It's very yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Not like any orange to it. It's just like yellow. Yeah, and can't see through it. So smell-wise...
It smells like cardboard. There
is like for me, it's not cardboard. It is kind of...
It's like papery. You see where I'm... A little petroleum.
Okay, I see where you're pulling that petroleum note from. I can agree with you on that one.
But not the cardboard or paper.
So I get a little bit of like a smell of like a clean jock strap. Not a dirty jock strap, like a clean one.
What? I don't even know what that smells like.
So it's like that... Okay, maybe I'm associating it that way because it's a negative connotation to it. But like sports apparel, like for actually playing in like rec league sports, like this is how my baseball bag smelled when I was in Little League.
How do you remember that?
I remember a lot of very distinct smells in my life, but that's my association with it. It's kind of that...
Like vinyl-y.
Okay, yeah. And it was like a plasticky, vinyl-y type bag. So maybe that's where the smell was coming from. And then everything in it smelled like it.
All these smells are kind of like negative, but it doesn't smell bad. It just smells a little weird.
Yeah, it's just odd. I agree with that. It's an odd smell, but it could easily turn into a good
and there is some
flavor.
citrus.
Yeah,
Once you get past that weird kind of vinyl, papery.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like light grapefruit is what I kind of smell on that. There is some bitterness in the nose, too. This could translate to a good flavor. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. It's very watery. Very simple.
Flavors are very light.
Yeah. I mean, that's Session IPA, though. There is some of that citrus on the end. I would say it's kind of like grapefruit peel is what I get.
And it doesn't taste vinyl-y.
No. Yeah, thankfully those weird aromas are not in the flavor. It's very light. It's very watery. It doesn't... This is what I'm happy about, though. It doesn't finish with, like, no flavor on your palate, though.
Right.
Because a lot of these types of beers will do that, where it's like you get a little flavor up front, and then it finishes like there's nothing.
Falls flat. It doesn't fall flat. It kind of just... It starts low and stays low. It's low and slow.
Well, for me, actually, what I experience is I get less flavor initially in the sip than I do at the end. Like, I feel like initially it's kind of like watery, and then it kind of builds up, and I get that kind of like grapefruit peel with a nice bitterness at the end.
I can't say I like it, but I don't dislike it.
Yeah, I mean, as a session IPA, it's one of those beers that it's low ABV. You can drink a good amount of it, and you can easily just not pay attention to it. I wouldn't say that it's one of those ones that I talk about sometimes, which like you can pay attention to it or not pay attention to it. You're not really going to pay that much attention to it. This is more of like I want some flavor, but I want to be able to drink a lot. Yeah. That's that beer's purpose. But I think it's fine.
I mean, for what it is what it is. Okay. So next on our lineup is a beer called Rolled Oats Oatmeal Stout by New Trail Brewing Company.
And this is a brewery that we have gotten beers from Kyle Norman for numerous times.
And this New Trail is out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And I don't see an ABV.
Really? Yeah, some of these breweries won't do that. Or unless there's one. No. I was going to see if there was one like printed on the bottom, but there is not. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the laws don't really make them do it, so they don't do it. Okay, so here we go. I'm down for an oatmeal stout. I know you're pretty much always down for something like that.
Yeah, I love stouts.
Does it look like one?
Looks like stout.
Yep. Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. I mean, coloration-wise, it's just very dark.
Yeah.
The head's pretty
like
brown.
Like a chocolate milk head.
Yeah. Yeah. About that.
Smells nice and roasty, a little ashy.
Definitely. Very nice and roasty. Definitely ashy. I think it's got a perceptible hop note sitting on it.
Yeah.
That I like. I like that type of note. And I always say this, like when I think of a nice, like roasty stout that at the same time has a really nice hop character.
Storm King.
Yep. I always think of Victory Storm King because that was the first beer I ever had like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I make that association. Plus, well, last time we had it, which has actually probably been a while, like some years now, it was still tasting really good. So this kind of reminds me of that. But yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think everything you put... Ooh, I'm actually getting... As I sniff it a little bit more, I'm getting a little, like, some nice chocolate presenting in it, like a mixture of dark and milk, and a little bit of kind of like a malt ball type smell.
I could see that. I took my first sip. It's good. It's creamy.
Ooh. It's easy, though, too. Like, it's very flavorful, but it's very easy.
You definitely get the chocolate. I think it's creamy. You get... I think some of the chocolate malt characteristics that Carlin was talking about.
This is like... Now, this is refreshing to me in the sense of there are not that many stouts out there like this. Where, like, it has a really nice flavor to it, but it's also easy. It doesn't taste like it has high ABV. And actually, that makes me wonder, do you have your phone?
No.
Or can you grab mine over there? It's sitting on the ottoman. Because now I want to look up what the ABV is on Untapped. Because I'm assuming, based off the taste and the smell, that it's pretty low.
Yeah.
Which would be another thing that I'm happy about. Now, we've been talking about this recently, about the fact that when people are thinking about stouts, they're thinking usually about imperial or, barrel aged, all this crazy stuff done. And those are really serious beers that are heavy, really high on flavor, really high on ABV typically. So to have something like this that's more nuanced, it's lighter but still flavorful, sessionable, it's pretty refreshing.
So what do you think it is, like 6%?
I mean, it's tasting about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes like 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Probably closer to 6, actually. And this is their rolled oats. Says it is 6.5.
6.5.
It is 6.5. Perfect. There you go. Man, this beer is really good.
It's very tasty.
I love this beer. I would like to have a lot of this beer on hand as like a really nice go-to stout. This is an awesome go-to stout. Like you were saying, it's got a nice creaminess to it. It's got that roastiness, little bit of an ashiness, which I think is less on the flavor than it is on the nose.
Yeah.
And that hop character is there. The chocolatiness is there. It's
definitely well balanced, and it kind of is one of the beers that you can pay attention to or not pay attention to, like you always say.
The flavor is very complex, but it's also light and sessionable.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like, very uncommon with beers, especially stouts nowadays.
Yeah. Very good.
That's a hell of a beer. I like that a lot. I was actually not expecting to like it that much. I was like, it's New Trail. It'll be good. I was not thinking, it's New Trail. This is going to knock my socks off.
Yeah. You never know.
Or, as has been said on the podcast before, blow my sack back. Okay, giving a rinse to our glasses now. If people remember past episodes, especially the beer mails, and actually an entire brewery showcase that was sponsored by Kyle Norman, we've had plenty of beers by Equilibrium Brewing on this podcast. So we tried a lot of their hoppy stuff, and Kyle Norman is a big fan, but we, for the most part, have not been. So he still wanted to send us Equilibrium, but he was like, look, I know you're not big on the hoppy stuff, so I sent you a Pilsner from Equilibrium. And to which I said,
yum.
I'm all about that. I will definitely try a Pilsner from them. So this one is their Tower Cloud, and Equilibrium is out of Middletown, New York, and this is 5.5%.
Oh, okay.
I'm very excited to get into this right now. We've been enjoying a very nice Pilsner here and there.
Mm-hmm.
When we can.
Oh, it's super light.
All right. Let's get into it. Looks like...
It's very clear, very
man.
yellow.
Yes. Clear beer. Who knew? It was a thing. It exists. It's in the wild. Yeah, it's very yellow.
It smells so crisp.
Ooh. It's got a nice hit of hop note to it, though, too. It smells slightly yeasty. It's got like this slight yeast character to it.
It smells like I'm getting honey.
Yeah, definite honey, a little bit of hay, but not as much hay as I typically get in a Pilsner nose.
Right. Not right.
It's got a little bit of that lemon peel that I get sometimes in Pilsners. And it actually, I don't know if it's because it's in my mind from the rolled oats, but I feel like it has a creaminess in the nose. Like it's very soft. It's almost kind of creamy and light.
I'm not getting that, but...
It smells refreshing, though, too.
Yes, it does. Very refreshing.
I feel like there's almost like a very faint oranginess in the nose.
Okay, I could see that.
Very faint. But it smells nice. It smells very nice, easy, flavorful. Let's go.
I'm getting the orange. It's like an orange blossom.
Yeah. There is 100% that light oranginess in the flavor. And also at the same time, that lemon peel.
Yep, I was just going to say lemon.
Yeah.
And honey.
And the honey. And that little bit of hay. Mouthfeel-wise, it's more serious than I would expect.
It is. For for the ABV and everything, it definitely feels like a higher ABV beer.
Yeah, and also because of the style, typically.
Yeah.
Like, Pilsners typically don't have the mouthfeel that this beer does. I'm fine with that, though. And it is tasting refreshing at the same time because of those flavors and how they come together.
Oh, this is really good.
Yeah, that's quite nice. I'm very, very much a fan of that beer. Ooh. At the moment, this first place spot seeming a little iffy. I don't know. It's going to be a tough decision, in my opinion. All right, another rinse, and then we'll get to the final beer, which Rebecca is most excited for.
This one.
I think the one I was most excited for was actually the Pilsner.
When that delivered.
And once you say what this final beer is, then I will say why I'm not super excited about this one.
Okay. It is called Bite Size. It's a peanut butter cup and coffee stout by Modist. Modist?
I think it's Modist.
Modist Brewing Company.
But it's with an I, not an E.
Out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. Never had anything by this brewery before. So.
Oh, I didn't read the ABV. I don't know if it's on there.
Oh, I'll find it if it is. 7.2.
Okay.
So it's not crazy. So my thing with this is a thing now where people are putting all sorts of stuff in stouts. And my problem is so many times I've seen these types of stouts and been like, that sounds awesome. That could be great. And then it just ends up being like sickly sweet.
Yeah.
And it's just too much. So
I'm hoping the coffee will balance it out though.
I hope so. Like, based off the description, I would love this beer if it's not too sweet. But I'm just saying, based off my experience with beers like this in the past, too many times I've just been like, oh God, it's just so sweet. It's so much. So that's why my expectations are low. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means it'll impress me. I don't know. All right, so let's get into this.
Since this came in the mail and it's been in the fridge, I'm like, when are we going to drink this?
Yeah, also it's been sitting in the front of all the beers, so every time you open the fridge, it's staring you in the face.
At me.
So yeah, that would make it tougher.
It's so dark.
Yeah, and it comes out pretty thick. Pretty thick. All right. Let's get at it. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. And it looks like a stout.
Yeah.
It's very dark. It's got a decent head to it. The head, all the bubbles are very, very small on it, and it looks like a creamy head.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Swirling it up.
Definitely get the coffee.
Definitely the coffee, but it also smells like dirt.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay, don't be dogging on the beer already.
I'm sorry. It has a dirt smell to it, and I think that's the coffee. It might just be the coffee itself, because not great coffee smells like that. It's
kind of all I smell.
I get the peanut butter.
You do?
Yeah, but the peanut butter, it's not consistent for some reason, which is really weird. Like, I'll not smell it on one sniff, and then on another sniff, I get a quick whiff of the peanut butter. It's weird. I'm
not getting it at all.
It smells like dirt, dude. This nose sucks. This is like, it's coffee and dirt and peanut butter sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't like the smell. But I will say this much. The fact that it doesn't smell super sweet would potentially indicate to me that it's not going to taste super sweet, which could be a great thing. So the nose is actually increasing my expectations, even though it smells like dirt.
Not getting peanut butter at all.
What the hell is this? This beer, no. Mm-mm. Yep. This sucks. I'm going to say it right now. This beer sucks. This is what I'm talking about. This is the crap I'm talking about. It's just sweet water is what it tastes like. Like, it's just sweet malt. Like, what is this?
I'm not getting the peanut butter.
I will say when I go to drink it, I'm smelling more of the peanut butter when I go to take a sip. But, I mean, I get the peanut butter. It's lightly showing up in there. I get the coffee. It tastes like it's really bad coffee that they used. And then it's just like malt. And honestly, for as much carbonation was on it, it tastes flat.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And it kind of tastes like dirt. Yeah, this beer sucks.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's not good.
I'm really disappointed. It was taunting me for
this beer's
all
garbage.
those weeks, and it's no good.
Yeah, it just... Yeah. This goes along with this whole movement of these dessert beers that aren't done well at all. This is the thing. Breweries, you can make a good beer that has things like peanut butter cups in it or like full candy bars or whatever. Like, you can do that. But it doesn't automatically make it a good beer if you throw that stuff in. It needs to be a good beer first, and then you incorporate those ingredients properly. This beer is one of those examples where they're just like, oh, the base beer doesn't even matter. You just throw a bunch of peanut butter cups in and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
No. Because I'm assuming that's what happened here. Does it say? Chocolate stout with chocolate malts, Reese's peanut butter. Yeah, the actual Reese's peanut butter cups and the cocoa nibs. Well, you wasted those cocoa nibs. That's for sure. Should have used them in something else. Yeah, that's really... I'm glad my expectations were low, because then I'm not disappointed.
I'm disappointed.
Sorry, but here's the thing. Does it not equal it out, though? Because that rolled oats oatmeal stout by New Trail is really good.
It is really good.
So, and you probably weren't expecting big things from that. So
that's true.
I think we all know what our number 4 is.
Yeah.
I'd put that at number 100 of 4.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, like, this is a fad that needs to stop. Like, it really needs to stop. These breweries just thinking, oh, I'll just throw whole candy bars in it and it'll just be good. You gotta have a good... I'm sorry to beat up on Modist or Modist Brewing so much. Maybe they do have some really good beers. This one is not... It doesn't do it. It's poorly executed at best. But I appreciate Kyle Norman sending it in, because when we have beers like this on the episode, it's important to point out we don't just drink stuff that's good. Sometimes we get stuff that we really don't like, and that goes back to there are beers out there that are no good. Mm-hmm. You know, and there are beers out there that are no good that come from good breweries even. Not every beer is a giant success from good breweries, and not every, quote unquote bad brewery has just bad beer. Sometimes they get some good batches going too. So anyway.
Okay. You know your ranking?
That's it. Yeah, this is very easy. This is a very easy ranking.
Okay, go ahead.
After I figured out the 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2 is hard.
Yeah, that was the toughest. That's the closest by far. But as we can probably all figure out, the number 4 by Modist or Modist Brewing is the bite-sized peanut butter cup and coffee stout, which once again is the chocolate stout with chocolate malts, Reese's peanut butter cups, coffee, and Ghana cocoa nibs. That beer blows. I'm just gonna pour it directly into the toilet. Actually, is what I'm gonna do. Not go through the process of going through my body and then eventually into the toilet. That's just going directly into the toilet. Number 3 is going to be the Baby Falcon by Triple Crossing. That was the session IPA. This is not bad. This is a solid session IPA. And the other thing is, not a lot of people making session IPAs these days, so it's refreshing to see that. My number 2, that was tough, but it's going to be the Equilibrium Tower Cloud Pilsner. That's a very tasty Pilsner. I like that a lot. Yeah, I want more of that. And that leads me to my number 1, which is the New Trail Rolled Oats Oatmeal Stout. This beer is a revelation as far as stouts go nowadays, and it is everything you would possibly want in a sessionable yet super flavorful oatmeal stout. It is great.
Okay. Mine's close, but I'm going to reverse them 1 and 2. So my number 4 is the bite-size peanut butter cup and coffee stout. Number 3 is Baby Falcon, the session IPA. Number 2 is the rolled oats oatmeal stout. And my number 1 is the Tower Cloud by Equilibrium, the Pilsner.
Yep, I can't fault you on that. Like I said, it was hard for me to
make 1 and 2 is hard.
Yeah, so our biggest thing now is to thank Kyle Norman.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. And like I said, we have another Beer Mail episode that we're going to be able to do because of Kyle Norman's generosity once again, and also a brewery showcase, which I'm very excited for that brewery showcase. Okay, I'm just going to tell people where the brewers are from for that showcase. And I'm not going to tell you the name of the brewery or anything, so you can do your research on that. But the brewers were from Brew Gentlemen. So they left Brew Gentlemen and started this new brewery. So yeah, we'll be having a showcase on that. So there probably won't be a whole lot of information on the brewery, but we'll be tasting those beers, and I'm excited. And I think it's going to be 5 beers instead of 4.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be a big episode. But anyway, do you have anything to throw out there?
Oh, no, just check us out on Instagram, Brutal Battle Podcast.
Send us emails if you have ideas for episodes, certain episodes you like, feedback you want to give us, just say hi, or if you want to try and get us beers for a Beer Mail episode sponsored by you, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. Do us the favor of rating and reviewing us on especially iTunes, but whatever podcatcher you use to listen to this. Also, spread the word with word of mouth. And you can check out the website, brutalbattle.com, if you want back episodes going all the way back, or go to archive.org and search Brutal Battle, and that is there as well. Also, I haven't plugged this in a while. I am active on Untappd.
I quit that shit.
Yeah, Rebecca quit it a long time ago. But you can find me you can just look up Carlin Cook, or all one word, Carlton Malibu, or, yeah, I think those are the 2 ways you can find me on there. But anyway, I'm active all the time. But thank you, everyone, for checking this out, and until next time.
Keep it brutal.
I feel so